I want to talk a little bit about mental health in this country and abroad. I mean, I'm sure there's many international people that might flock to this video, but I want to talk about mental health. And the other day, I made a video about someone that you may know if you're watching this video. If you're not watching the live stream, if you're watching the video, you found it. You may know who this person is. I made a video the other day about someone named Jordan Peterson. He exists. And he was crying live on camera. So I made a video about it. I talked about it. And as with any Jordan Peterson video, I have a bunch of extremely intelligent people that left me some interesting comments. So I want to take a moment here again to talk about mental health in this country. Because, again, Jordan Peterson, factually speaking, I don't care if this triggers you, factually speaking, is a bigot. He hates minorities such as transgender people and gay people. He hates them. He talks about it regularly. If that offends you to hear that, well, I ask you this question. Why does that offend you? Do you not want him to be a bigot because you think bigotry is bad? Or do you think that particular brand of bigotry is acceptable? That's my first question. So I got some very interesting comments. And I posted a compilation on Twitter. So I want to go through a couple of these. Now this one, I don't know what's going on here. Subscriber for 7 years. I thought that's interesting. So Rune Wizard says, man, I know like cry equals bad, comma, man I hate must be bad if man cry. Only female can cry and no man can cry, but also there are 50 genders. And in real life, 99% of what I say is not okay to be said in public. Now again, I'm not sure what's going on here. Nowhere in the video did I make fun of him for crying because he cried. Nowhere in the video did I do that. I made fun of him for crying when asked if he is the defender of incels. That's what I made fun of him for. I didn't make fun of a man for crying, okay? So anyway, this is a theme here. Your mind is unmeasurably narrow. So I asked them to, extrapolate. How so? Not up to me to tell you why. Just an opinion at the end of the day. A bit of introspection might do you some good. I just saw you comment you have no compassion for bigots might suggest you have zero compassion for yourself. Objectifying others' people's existences will serve you no purpose. Best of luck with everything. Now again, what? Okay. So I'm a bigot because I don't like bigots, and that makes me bigoted. And I objectified other people's existence. I don't even know what the fuck this guy's talking about. So anyway, so this is a theme here. Now this is a novel. I can't even fit this whole fucking thing on screen. This is a novel. This motherfucker released a fucking an excerpt from his book. Okay. Lucas Cunningham writes, to some incels, but more importantly to the many disenfranchised young men out there failing to find meaning, love, encouragement, confidence, ... Jordan Peterson is the sun that warms the hearts, often to the point where they discard their waterproof layer of toxic masculinity and stop hiding from the rain cloud of failure that has been looming over them their whole life. After years of the left trying to eradicate toxic masculinity with public shaming, cancel culture, and innocent until proven guilty. Okay, first of all, trying to eradicate toxic masculinity, isn't that a good thing? Don't we want to eradicate toxic masculinity? If your argument is that men should be allowed to cry, shouldn't the left wanting men being allowed to cry and to eradicate toxic masculinity be a good thing? Second of all, innocent until proven guilty is a bad thing now? Personally, I love innocent until proven guilty. Now, I assume that they probably meant it the other way around, but they didn't proofread their shit. Also, what the fuck is cancel culture? Seriously, what is that? Like strong gusts of wind from an angry storm, it was never to be as effective as Jordan Peterson's encouraging word. Now again, my question to these people is, do you or do you not accept that Jordan Peterson hates transgender people? If you're going out there and saying he secretly loves transgender people, he just expresses it in the wrong way or whatever, I'm curious as to why you say that. The only reason why you would make an excuse for his bigotry is if you think bigotry is wrong and you worship Jordan Peterson and you don't want him to be a bigot. My personal opinion, worship Jordan Peterson. Just be honest that he's not great on everything. It's not that hard. Yes, he hates transgender people. He has literally made his career. He has literally made his career based on the fact that he hates transgender people. He rose to prominence lying about a bill in Canada that would have compelled speech or whatever. Didn't fucking work that way. He just made it up just as a way to attack transgender people, okay? Literally a couple months ago, he was talking about how a transgender actor got a criminal surgery and is inspiring a bunch of kids to kill themselves or some shit. It is factually true that he hates transgender people. Now, unless he secretly loves them and he's I don't know, it's a tough love. I don't even know what the fuck. But anyway, how can you respect this guy if he hates transgender people? How can you say that helping the marginalized is good when he helps incels, but then also agree with him hating transgender people? It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, okay? I'm sorry. And again, what the fuck is this comment? Okay. Jordan Peterson is a man who's apparently too emotional. Yes, too emotional. In a world where men are lambasted for their flaws and criticized for not being emotional enough. Now again, him crying is not the fucking problem. Him crying is not the fucking problem. The problem is that he's crying about something so fucking stupid that it makes you want to fucking blow your brains out. That's the fucking problem. Okay? If someone starts crying, right, because, okay, let's say this much. Okay, let's say someone, let's say a kid comes out as trans. They're 15, 16 years old, they come out as trans. They talk to their parents, and their parents start crying. Now, if they're crying because, oh, my son is dead, I've got a queer kid, guess what? I'm going to make fun of them for crying because they're fucking stupid. Now, if they're crying because, oh, I didn't know that, I want to help you, I want to make sure your life is great, I love you, my child, that's a good thing. That's good to cry. The reason why someone is crying is more important than the fact that they're crying. In the video, literally, if you watch the video, which apparently this guy wrote a novel and didn't even watch the video. But if you watch the video, you will see, I stipulate this. So imagine watching 30 seconds of a video and then posting a fucking excerpt from your fan fiction that doesn't even apply to, what the fuck, man? I'm serious. These people are crazy. These people are fucking insane. I don't know what to tell you, okay? As someone who seems genuinely intelligent, I do hope you take some time to reflect on the hypocrisy of attacking the leader of a group you dislike, while that leader is 1, not even a part of that group, 2, doing all that it is in their power to set a good example and offer people an alternative to that group by instead facing life's challenges and voluntarily taking up responsibility as individuals, members of their family and community. Now again, if that's what Jordan Peterson was doing, I'm all in. I'm all in, but that's not what he's doing. That's not what he does. He is not a speaker for the marginalized. I'm sorry, he's not. He's not. He doesn't give a fuck about lonely virgins. He doesn't give a fuck about incels. He manipulates them to believe crazy conspiracy theories about women and minorities. Read his fucking books. Read his fucking books. He will talk about random ass shit. About how, women shouldn't be allowed to be in workplaces because men will be distracted by their beauty. He literally has gone on podcasts to talk about how women should be, hot women specifically, should be banned from working with men Now, if you're ugly, you can work with men. That's no problem. Who makes those decisions? Who makes the decision if someone is hot or ugly? Who knows, right? But he literally went on a long-ass cringe tour about how hot women should not be allowed in the workforce because men are so easily distracted. So, again, spare me with this fucking bullshit about him speaking up for the marginalized. My God. Anyway, this novel continues. I'm going to read it because it's hilarious. And I haven't read these before. I just selected the long ones, so I wanted to read them live on stream. Doing all that is in his power to reach out to those who are despicable incels and offering them the choice to reform themselves, giving them encouragement that they need, that they are a net force for good if they want to be. Like, what does that even mean? Doing all that is in his power to reach out to those. He's not doing all that is in his power. If he was doing all that was in his power, he would be doing literally anything. All he does is say, hey, incels, buy my book. By the way, hot women are a plague on society. That's literally all he says. Like, I don't even know, like, what the fuck. You don't have to like someone to wish what's best for them. We were all children once. Everything is learned. Some people need to experience empathy before they can understand why it's so important to give it to others. Don't hate on the man who provides the answer to the problem. What is the answer? If he provided an answer to the problem, then I would know what the answer is, having done this segment, having covered Jordan Peterson. I would know what the answer is. He hasn't provided any answer. If he provided an answer to the problem, there would be no incels. He hasn't provided any answer. He's just making the problem worse. Like, what the fuck are these people talking about? Like, again, these people, this is mental illness in its purest form. You lack compassion, and you are misrepresenting his arguments to a degree that suggests you haven't actually heard or read them firsthand. Now, again, I've literally made videos where I respond to him in detail when he goes on, like, these 30-minute short films that he writes about how Twitter bans him or whatever. Like, I don't know, like this shit is so fucking verifiably not true that it's just hilarious to me. Sounds like you were just going off of what others have said. In any case, I hope you find what you need to be a happier and more fulfilled person. Not sure if creating this kind of content will be the route, but you never know. Like, again, this feigned, like, you know, like, this bullshit where they pretend that they're supportive of you. Like, I mean, again, man, this fucking shit is insane. Like, Jordan Peterson, he literally has a job at the Daily Wire. The Daily Wire, a right-wing media conglomerate corporation that's, like, major production recently has been attacking transgender people. And again, one of their main contributors, Matt Walsh, Jordan Peterson's coworker, most prominent coworker, is leading terroristic bomb threat campaigns on children's hospitals. That's Jordan Peterson. He signed up for that. So, now again, there's a part 2 here. Now again, I filtered out all the comments calling me a tranny. If you go look on the original video and look at the comment section, half the Jordan Peterson fanboys are like, tranny, 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 you're a man, tranny, tranny. Right, so again, I just love the duality, the two genders of the Jordan Peterson fan base. The person who pretends to be a hyper pseudo-intellectual and the person who's just a raging bigot. That's the audience. So anyway, I filtered those out. What a terribly sad and disappointing take on Peterson's crying. He didn't cry because of Olivia Wilde's commentary. He cried when considering those who suffer for a lack of encouraging word. Whatever. So, did Jordan Peterson cry after he said that transgender people are groomers? Did he cry because of transgender people not having an encouraging word? Did he cry for them? No. He hopped in and joined the bigoted hate campaigns against transgender people. So, again, I don't know how to explain to these people. These people are fucking brain dead. All right. It is kind of sad. That media narrative can push people apart just by seeking controversy where there is none or little. Mocking someone for showing emotion helps nobody. Well, maybe yourself, to feel better than a celebrity. First of all, again, nowhere in the video did I mock him for showing emotion. And I specifically stated, I'm not making fun of him for crying. I'm making fun of him for why he's crying. You said there should be some guidance for incels to help them sort out their life. This guy actually tries to provide such advice, and never once I heard him say that the world women are conspiring against you. Again, just because you haven't heard it doesn't mean it's not true. Like, you can look it up. Just look up Jordan Peterson, lobster, women. Look it up. Look up Jordan Peterson, transgender actor. Just look up these search terms and you will find what we're talking about. Now, again, if you want to say that that's not an important part and you want to focus on the good parts of his message, okay. But we have to have an honest fucking conversation about what this guy is. Like, the idea that you're going to defend his bigotry or pretend it doesn't exist, I'm sorry, cry me a fucking river, you stupid ass bitch. Or clean your room and get laid. It was always in the lines of make yourself valuable member of society and people will value you more and life is hard. Deal with it. Never once have I heard him attack any transgender person. I'm sorry, man. Okay, let me get this straight. So this guy is so obsessed with Jordan Peterson that they have a Google alert system or some way to find out. I uploaded this video 2 days ago. It's got like 600 views, okay? They name search Jordan Peterson so much that they can find some random no-name bitch making a YouTube video about him, but they've never heard of his transphobic or just anti-women remarks. They just skip that whole part. They never heard of it. They watch every single video that people make about Jordan Peterson. They just haven't heard the most high-profile stuff. What? What? I'm sorry, but what the fuck? Okay. Sure, there is plenty for which we could criticize him, but it should be based on the things he had actually said or done. Now, again, this is the thing. They claim to be these pseudo-intellectuals, right? It is okay to criticize Jordan Peterson, but he's never said these things that he's documented saying multiple times for years and years. What the fuck, man? On an unrelated note, I have to search if there's any link between begging for lunch money and affiliation to communism. What? I don't even know what the fuck that means. Okay. Well, if leftists with an apostrophe, why is there an apostrophe there? I don't know. Are calling him the voice of incels, and he is saying he thought they should have a voice, then I guess they are equally full of shit, ? Quadruple space. And what is this shit about making fun of him for crying? Never did that. We, men, just can't catch a break when it comes to this. Either we aren't sensitive enough, or we are too sensitive. Or it's okay to cry, or it's not okay to cry. Give us a fucking break. Now again, the reason why someone cries is important. Right? Again, let's say this. Let's say I've got my mother's ashes in an urn, and there's an earthquake, and it causes the urn to fall on the hardwood floor, and it cracks all over the place. The ashes are all over the house. If I started crying, man, woman, whatever the fuck, that's fine. All right, cry. That's a fucked up thing to go through. Now again, you know what's not okay to cry at? Let's say you're going to McDonald's and you have to pull up. You know when they say all right, your order is going to take a little bit longer. Can you pull up a little bit? And you pull up and then you start crying in the car because your order is taking 3 minutes longer than you thought it would. I would make fun of you for crying. It's not, the crying is not the fucking issue here. And I explained this in the video. That's the thing that's crazy about this, is I explained that in the video. But I guess these people are just so fucking stupid they can't understand that kind of shit. You don't know who and what you're talking about? First of all, I don't even know where to begin with this fucking shit. Your content is ignorant, bordering on poison-like. Do more research. Please, the whole thing is very cringy. So anyway, this is just a couple of comments here. There's a bunch more. You can go look at the video. But again, nowhere in this video did I make fun of him for being a man who cries. That never happened. I've never said that. I never would say that. Right? And it's a long video. It's 16 minutes. You think these motherfuckers watched all 16 minutes of the video before posting an excerpt from their fucking novelization of their fucking, like, no, obviously not, right? They're just like basing it off of their weird echo chamber beliefs, right? So anyway, I had to make a follow-up to this one because really it is hilarious ass fucking shit. Hilarious ass fucking shit. And I will say this much. I don't have compassion for bigots. If Jordan Peterson came out tomorrow or today, let's say it comes out like, in a couple minutes after the show is over and said, you know what? I did some introspection. I thought about it. And the things that I've said about women are honestly disgusting. The things I've said about transgender people, like Elliot Page, they're disgusting. I was in an echo chamber. I was being paid to say these things. And, and I really, I realized how dangerous the harm I was. If he came out and did that, I'm in. I'm all in for the redemption tour. Now, he's not going to do that, obviously, right? But if he did that, I'm all in. Until that happens, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Oh, poor baby. He's crying. Oh, poor baby. You know who else is crying? Someone who just got diagnosed with some illness, right, that's going to result in them having a stillborn fetus, but they're not allowed to get an abortion because Republicans have outlawed that shit, which, by the way, Jordan Peterson is in favor of pro-life legislation, quote-unquote pro-life, right? And they're crying because the only options for them are, do a GoFundMe to raise fucking $5,000 to $10,000 to travel to another state to get medical care, right? That's who I care about. If I have compassion, that's who I'm lending it toward. I'm not lending it towards to some rich celebrity who spends his fucking time online attacking minorities all day. I don't give a fuck. In fact, not only did that, I do give a fuck. I lied. I do give a fuck. I hope he's unhappy. I hope he's crying. When I heard about Jordan Peterson having a benzo addiction and when he disappeared from the internet for 2-3 years, however long it was, that was the best thing he's ever done. The best thing Jordan Peterson ever did was get addicted to benzos and get the fuck out of the public sphere for however long it was. That was his best fucking decision. So you know what? Cry me a fucking river. Go fuck yourself with that crybaby fucking bullshit, okay? Go take a fucking Xanax and shut the fuck up. That's my opinion on the Jordan Peterson fucking fanboys. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, someone had a benzo addiction, so it makes their anti-fucking trans bigotry acceptable. Go fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck yourself. Fuck yourself, motherfucker. Who gets addicted to benzos anyway? So, I don't want to be too rude here, but I don't know, man. Jesus fucking Christ.